Okay, so the hands-on test drives, these are what you're actually handing in for the lab. I'm not going to draw these completely, but I will get you started a little bit and just show you some general strategies for them. Be careful here. It's going to tell you what plane you're supposed to be drawing in. So this one here, it's saying draw it in the front plane, and then you'll extrude 20 millimeters in the positive Y direction. So for this one, this is symmetrical in a rotational direction. It has rotational symmetry. So if you draw this, you only need to draw one of these notches, and then you can use a rotational pattern to draw all the other ones. So let's show how that would work. So we're going to draw in the front plane like it said, create a sketch, and look, we can draw some circles. I'm just going to make these arbitrary size. It had a circle in the middle, whatever size, and then you have to locate the center of the other one, so you'll figure out whatever that size needs to be and say this is where my center of that circle is going to be. You can change this if you wish to a actually that's just going to stay like that. Don't worry about that. So then we're going to make a smaller circle here, whatever that diameter was called out as, but centered on there. And then we can just draw some lines like this. And then we can use our trimming tools to create our notches. So we'll just trim this little section out here. Trim that, trim that, trim that, trim that, trim, trim. And then once we have this, we can use our rotational circular pattern. I want to copy these objects here. My center point, you just pick any of these circles and it's going to select that as your center point, and it basically says how many of these do you want to copy, and we can just say I want to have however many. If I want 10 of them, you get that. In this case I want 6, so I do this and say OK, and there we go. Then it's just a matter of fixing these things, so just cutting out those notches where you need them, and then getting rid of this circle as well because you don't need that. And then that is basically your shape, just like that. So very straightforward. The second one we're going to draw calls for this guy here. Now looking at this, you have a slot and a circle. Now you could say this has symmetry, so you could only draw half of it if you wished. Now for me, I would say I'm just going to draw the whole thing because that's just a circle located in the center and a slot. It's actually pretty easy to do. One of the tricks here is how do you locate the center of this. So one of the tricks we can do is actually just draw some lines diagonally to locate the center here. So let's draw this from, again, this says the front plane. So if we drew front plane, create a sketch, and if we have a rectangle and we want to find the center of this, if we just draw, this will snap to the corners. If you just draw corner to corner, that is a good way to locate your center right there. And then you can draw circles that's located on the center. And you can also draw a line from here vertically, however far you need to go. If we want to go 50 millimeters up from there, and you can say the end point of that line is where I'm going to draw my slot. Center to a point. I'm going to go center to a point, and that's going to be my slot. You can do that. That's an easy way to draw that slot. And then again, this is just a matter of, okay, I got a bunch of lines in here. Now I trim away what I don't need. I no longer need this. I don't need that. I don't need this, this, that, this. Get rid of everything you don't need. And there we go. We have that is basically your object. And that's a way to do that one. Okay, so different techniques, just identifying what technique you want to actually use to draw these things. Okay, that is your lab for this week. Draw those things correctly, make sure you're using the right plane, you're extruding in the correct direction to the correct thickness, get those submitted, and you're all good.